All right, day 21 of the vlog, 30-day challenge to vlog every day for 30 days. I'm going short on ideas of what to talk about, but I mean, there's so many things to talk about, but I want to share stuff that actually somewhat important, at least to me. Um, Today, I will talk about an article I wrote called "Discovery in a New World." That's kind of on marketing in the age of information that we're in. I'll kind of just read through it and chat about it as I go through it. So, if you look back throughout human history, humans' ability to discover new things was slow. The world didn't have the internet, nor the ability to easily travel from country to country, place to place. It wasn't possible to market to the entire world at once or receive worldwide news instantly. Explorers would spend lifetimes discovering new land and meeting new people. News spread slowly as messengers spent months carrying information across the land. Everyone within a tribe knew more or less the same stuff. Compare that to today, where news virtually anywhere in the world can be discovered within minutes. Google Maps can give us real-time traffic data in virtually any city in the world. Skype allows me to video call my mom in real time from the other side of the planet, and Facebook allows me to befriend 400 people on a daily basis. It's incredibly unique. So how do we find things that interest us in today's world? How do we find things to buy, places to go, places to live, or what to read? The answer: marketing. Marketing influences what we buy, where we go, and who we go with. Things that interest us are based on our experiences, as well as the things we've discovered. Marketing has become very good, so good in fact that marketers often know what we'll be interested before we even know it exists. Consumerism has us buying products that 5 minutes before we didn't even know existed. When we want to travel somewhere, for example, we talk with others or do research online. Others we've talked to were very likely marketed to, and virtually all of our research online is angled in a way to market or appeal to the consumer. The internet has nearly unlimited information, but also near unlimited marketing. Why? Because information is available for free, and the incentive to provide information is often driven by the revenue that can be generated from advertising. Take Google, for example. It's a search engine that allows anyone on the internet the ability to search the web for almost anything and get the answer within seconds. It allows us to discover things, learn things, look up things. It's an incredibly powerful piece of technology. But how is it possible for such technology to exist? Advertising. The search engine is often free, but the search engine is free, but the advertising pays for the technology to continually be improved. Without advertising, Google as we know it wouldn't exist, and very likely no search engine would exist, or no Facebook, or no Apple, or no nothing really in the world. It's kind of capitalism that's fueling that. I recently read that Google and Facebook make up 50% of the internet's traffic, meaning that 50% of all people browsing the internet are on Facebook or Google. Facebook is another incredibly piece of technology, which is also free. No one pays money to use Facebook, but how are they able to grow and improve their service and make Facebook more useful and better at connecting the world? Advertising, which last quarter, this was written a couple of years ago, generated $8.8 billion, which comes out to almost $100 million a day. This will enable Facebook to continually doing amazing things. And without advertising, Facebook wouldn't exist. That's a little debatable because Facebook isn't necessarily purely a force for good, but that's a debate for another conversation. The point is that discovery in the modern world is wrapped up entirely in marketing. The perfect advertisement is an advertisement you don't know is an advertisement, because it is shown at the right place at the right time to the right person. Facebook and Google are both getting incredibly good at this. Again, it influences what we buy, when we buy, where we go, and who we go with. This is drastically a different way of discovery than that has ever existed in human history. And it's actually kind of funny because most people I know, or when I talk to them about internet marketing or advertising, is they say I don't click on advertising on Facebook, or I've never really clicked on an ad. But it's almost a guarantee that they just didn't know it was an ad, because the perfect ad is one that, like I said, that you want to see, right? You would People say I don't want to see ads, and that's because of the connotation people have in advertising. But marketing is what is used to allow you to discover things, and ideally things that would actually genuinely interest you, or genuinely things that maybe you'll learn from. And in a world where there's so much stuff, they're basically the only way for you to discover these things is, at least on the internet, is through people competing to market to you, which is in a debate in itself, but it's how it works. A large store like Target, for example, can recognize with great accuracy where someone is at where someone is at in their life simply by the buying behavior and spending habits. In the book The Power of Habit, Charles Duhigg tells a story about how Target was sending coupons to a shopper for baby food, pregnant mothers' clothes, and other stuff. The dad of the shopper went to the manager of the local Target, telling them to stop, only to find out a few weeks later that his daughter was pregnant. Target recognized that the woman was pregnant before her father knew, simply by recognizing the patterns in her buying behavior. This sort of pattern recognition is being used by countless companies to market to you more effectively, and it is changing what you discover. On that note as well, based on what you search or when you search for it, Google can tell you a lot about you. Or with Facebook, what you update or how frequently you visit or how much you engage and what you engage with. Facebook can tell you with very high certainty whether you just broke up with someone, whether you're depressed, whether you're excited, whether you're getting into a new relationship, whether you're pregnant. These are all behaviors that have patterns to them, and with us being so ingrained into technology, they can recognize these things at a very high level and whatnot. So it's the article goes on just talking about capturing attention and how in the modern world we live in, it's all about who can capture your attention better than other people, at least in this capitalistic world. So yeah, I've heard that the average American sees between 4,000 and 10,000 advertisements per day, which is pretty mind blowing. And the internet is kind of your perfect view of, or your perfect example of advertising, because before the internet there would be things like billboards or signs in front of people, of businesses or whatever, and it would be hard to track actually, like when someone saw a banner out inside your restaurant, did they enter in? Or when someone saw a billboard, did they later go buy a Coca-Cola? That stuff's kind of hard to measure, kind of the brand advertising. But with the internet, you can track virtually everything. So like how much time someone spent on the website, where they clicked, when they clicked, did they buy? And then you can connect the information to figure out, to reverse engineer and figure out all these other things about them, like their gender and their location and who they're married to, and all these things. And it's kind of scary in terms of like big data and all the things that can happen, but it's also on another side incredibly powerful and incredibly useful. And it's very easy to opt out by just not using the technologies. I think if you opt in to use the technology and then you complain about this, I think it's the burden is a little bit on the person using the technology, because no one's forcing us to use these. It's completely a choice, and we should be aware of the things that we're doing and the things that we're using and the side effects to them. Me being someone who's used Facebook extensively over the last probably 15 years, and I've made a living running advertisements on Facebook and Google and building websites on the internet that people use. I'm actually very optimistic, and I think we'll solve a lot of the problems that we have. And right now, technology is going through a tough transition, because there's a lot of unforeseen problems that are coming up in technology, like people being addicted to Facebook and whatnot. But I think these problems will be solved, and we can't preemptively solve them before building these technologies. Like we've never seen a Facebook with 2 billion people ever exist, or we've never seen a search engine like Google that provides access to the world's information for free exist. So I think over time we end up solving these problems when we figure out they are problems. And I think right now we're kind of figuring out, how do we allow social media to exist and big data to exist and these search engines to exist without giving up too much of our private information or being tracked too frequently. And I think we're going through the right steps to regulate them and figure out what boundaries we want to create for ourselves, and at the end of the day, virtually decide if we even want to use them in the long term. So it'll be interesting to see if these technologies actually hold up over the next 15 to 20 years, as we change and adapt as a society and discover various problems in our society with these technologies. So yeah, that will be it. That's more just a little thought on discovery in the modern world. It's something that's never been seen throughout history, and it's changed very quickly, and it's going to continue to change even quicker. So I'll leave it at that. I will see you tomorrow for day 22.